Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, December 13th. So Mondays are moon days, and the moon here today is in Aries. We had that moon move into Aries late Saturday evening, giving us a much welcomed, much needed energy shift out of that crisis breakdown moon in Pisces that we had. Of course, the first quarter moon in Pisces provided us a little bit of a breaking point for us to fall into pieces, for us to cry it all out, for us to release that energy. And of course, the moon in Aries sweeps in, giving us a fresh perspective, a bold, courageous, brave kind of attitude to look forward instead of looking behind. It's definitely when we bossed up. So today we do have the moon in Aries all day. There are 11 different aspects taking place here today. 8 of them involve the moon. The ones that do not involve the moon are major aspects taking place here today, because as you would have learned yesterday, not only has the 12/12 portal activation been triggered and open, we're in this beautiful opportunity, this beautiful window up until the 21st when the cosmos hits the reset button on us. We're in this beautiful energy portal where endings and closures are being provided in order for us to start fresh. Especially when the solstice energy hits that reset button, we move into Capricorn season, we start bringing to life some of the elements, ideas, inspirations, truths that we've been illuminated to. You would have also known by listening to the ascension forecast for the week and for yesterday's daily forecast that Mars and Mercury are on the move today. This is going to be adding to the intensity that we are going to be experiencing here today. So let's jump into it. Right out of the gate, we have the moon squaring the true node. And let me tell you, we've had a lot to consider. There's been a lot of aha moments, a lot of clarity coming in. Yes, the confusion is still reigning supreme, but the little bits of clarity are coming in, forcing us to rework the way that we've been thinking about the past, rework our plans and thinking about moving forward into the future, and emotionally kind of get a little bit of a grip where the past has had a very hard hold on us. We're cutting the cord. We're freeing ourselves up. We have the bravery, the tenacity with the moon in Aries to really look forward to bossing up, being the warrior, instead of crying ourselves to sleep at night like many of us have been doing. Mars moves out of Scorpio, shifts into Sag very early on in the morning. Please go ahead, listen to December's energy forecast, the astro event that I just put out. We go a little bit more into depth on what Mars moving into Sag is all about. You can definitely check out your zodiac forecast for December to figure out how this particular astro event is going to show up in your life. But basically, we're talking fire on fire. We're talking big energies. We're talking initiator energies. We're talking restlessness. We're talking anger if we're not careful. We have to be very mindful with our energy. We have a huge lesson in energy management coming at us very quickly, coming in hot and heavy. And Mars moving into Sag is definitely something that we're going to pay attention to. So you definitely want to check out all the information that I've already put out there, I've already provided you with, so that you can keep yourself in check and actually use this energy for good instead of for evil. The moon is going to bump into Neptune, and let me tell you, we are all over the place. We are having some extreme emotions. We are stuck in la la land. We are having unreal type of fantasies, unreal type of emotions come through. Neptune energy is connected to our higher selves, our intuition, our dreams, and even our illusions. And right now, we're kind of unrealistic with what it is that we're thinking and feeling. And of course, with the 12/12 portal being blown wide open, with Mars just shifting into Sag, we're a little bit all over the place. We're hypersensitive. We have to be very mindful of how we react to external triggers. The moon in Aries trines the sun in Sag. Again, fire on fire. This is an illumination of old habits, old ideas, old behaviors, old contracts versus the new truth, the new path, the new adventures that we have passions and desires to pursue. But this is very much recognizing where our old unconscious patterns, thought processes, and behaviors are preventing us from truly aligning with who it is that we need to be in order to set ourselves out on this new beautiful adventure, this quest for exploration, for knowledge, for enlightenment. The moon bumps into Saturn, and this is where we gain a little bit of emotional control. This is where we understand where thinking about our future is absolutely necessary, because the current foundations in our lives, routines, relationships, money matters are very unstable, and it's not helping us in our emotions and our mental plane. We have to think long term. We have to think about what we have to change. And although, the moon in Aries is bold and brave and courageous, doesn't want to look back, only wants to look forward, now we are kind of getting down to the nitty gritty of where it is that we have to become a little bit more strategic in what it is that we're actually pouring our energy, time, and emotions into to build the new foundations, the safe structures that we have to create and manifest in our lives to support the new kinds of dreams and visions that we're looking to bring to life. Speaking of strategy, Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information and communication, moves out of Sag and moves into Capricorn. Again, I'm going to encourage you to please go listen to December's energy forecast. Please listen to Mars and Mercury's astro event that I just published. This is going to give you a better idea of what Mercury moving into Capricorn is going to be like. And again, if you have not listened to this week's Ascension forecast, I would definitely recommend you go do so, because we talked about the power of the mind, the power behind our words, what it is we have to be careful of actually speaking on, because we're in this beautiful window of accelerated manifestation where, good, bad, or otherwise, what we think, what we give our attention to, what we speak out of our throat chakras and speak into existence is exactly what's going to manifest. We have more power than we tend to realize. Now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty, be a little bit more logical, practical, and strategic with our thoughts, with our words, with our intentions for the future. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Mars. This is Mars's first aspect while being into Sag. And as you know, we do have to give it a couple of days to adjust to these energies. We are going to be all kinds of hyped up, all kinds of fired up with no direction. That's the downside of Sag. We have so many different directions that we're unfocused. We don't know which direction to take. This is why we're hella confused. Mercury moving into Capricorn is going to bring us back down to earth and help us sort some things out. We have to be careful that we do not act on impulse, because it's going to create some drama that we just do not need. Now, the moon in Aries, ruled over by Mars. Mars now in Sag, a sister fire sign to Aries. You best believe that we are hyped up. We have a potential here to act on our feels. Now, this could bode very well for us if we've given enough time to think it through. Although the energy does not support us thinking things through. Again, Mars wants to act first, deal with the consequences later. This Aryan energy wants to do the exact same. We have a lot of energy pulsing through our bodies right now, a lot of emotions that we just want to act on, and many of us have not taken the time to think about the consequences. So although this is a good aspect where we could make a major move to align us with the new path, the new vision, the new dreams that we're looking to manifest, we could also act out and project our not so nice vibes, our, chaos and lack of clarity onto other people and create drama where there doesn't need to be any. It's fire on fire. We have to be careful that we don't burn the whole freaking place down. Now, the moon is going to square Pluto. A square is a crisis point. It's not so good vibes. The moon is also going to square Venus. And as you may remember, Venus and Pluto did a little bit of a dance in the cosmos this past week. They conjunct. They're sitting next to each other in the cosmos. They're working together. Venus now is no longer in the night sky. She is definitely in her darkness. Pluto's taking her in the underworld. We have to strip away a lot of our egos, a lot of our identities to get down in the nitty gritty of what is actually important to us. Venus is going to be going retrograde in Capricorn pretty soon. that is going to trigger all kinds of feels. Definitely keep your eyes posted for that astro event when I post it. But the moon squaring Pluto and Venus in this way is likely going to bring up some past trauma, some negative narratives, some heavy emotions that we just don't want to deal with. It's going to add to our indecision, add to our instability. We're going to be overly attached to past situations, past relationships, past ideas that we should have and could have cut the cord with, that our sucker for punishment type of ego self just wants to hold on to, rip those scabs wide open and sit in the filth of our old memories. Now, Mercury goes ahead and bumps into Mars. Now, this is a very important event. As you know, Mercury, this would be Mercury's first aspect, well, in Capricorn energy, and Mars's second aspect into Sag. This is a big deal. This is where we're going to get a grip. But it's going to come out of being highly irritated, highly on edge, very angry, very assertive, very impulsive. And again, we have to be mindful on how it is that we let this energy out of our body. We do have the total capabilities right now of getting a mental grip, putting those blinders on, realizing where we're about to act a fool, where we're about to project our old trauma, ego self on other people, really stir up the drama in our realms, and where it is that we can shut it down pretty quick. But let me tell you, most of us are going to go the other way. We're going to sit in our negative Nancy thoughts. We're going to stew in our memories. We're going to drudge up the past, and then we're going to act on it and create a little bit of a mess for us to clean up later. We're going to wrap the day up with the moon sextiling, which is a good energy, with Jupiter. Growth, expansion. This is blessings. This is abundance. This is where we get our hype girl back. This is where we crawl out of that dark hole. This is where we break up those negative narratives. This is where we get boss up, get that emotion on track. This is where we get a little bit brave, a little bit bold, a little bit courageous to break away from the negative narrative that the dark force energies want us to sit in. Why? Because it keeps us in a state of paralysis. It keeps us acting a fool. It keeps us keeping our power in our ego selves instead of leveling up to our higher selves. This is going to bring us out of that funk, make us a little bit more optimistic, see where it is that we've been acting a fool, where it is that our negative Nancy narratives have gotten the best of us, where it is that we have to break free from that. Be very mindful, once again, of our narrative. Why? Because our narrative is creating our reality. Why? Because we're powerhouse energies. We're an accelerated window of manifestation. Whatever it is that we think, whatever it is that we feel, whatever it is that we're spending our time, energy, and attention pouring into is going to manifest in our physical realms. So we better keep it light. We better keep it fluffy. We better keep it positive. We better keep it optimistic. And we better see where it is that we're being triggered and activated to grow.